Hello, first grade. Today we're going to do a Jasper Johns type drawing, and you're going to need a large piece of paper for this. First thing we're going to do, and you might need some help with this, but we're going to fold our paper in half. Try to make sure that you line your corners up and fold your paper. And then you're going to fold it again in half and in half again. Okay. And 4. Okay, 4 times folding it in half. When you open it up, you're going to see that you have 16 rectangles. 1, 2, 3, 4 going across, and you got 4 rows of 4. All right. And we're going to work with the alphabet like Jasper Johns did. And what you want to do first is take your white crayon. Okay, I'm using an oil pastel, but you want to do it with your white crayon. And we want to turn our paper this way, and we're going to put our alphabet, one letter in each of the squares or rectangles. Maybe turn it that way. Okay. And you take your white crayon and you sketch out your letter, write your letter, A, B, and you want to press hard with your white crayon and get it as dark on the paper as you can, or get as much crayon on there as you can. A, B, okay, and then you'll go down and do each letter. E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P is as far as you'll get if you have 16 squares. If you use a really large piece of paper, like the 12 by 18, you can make 5 folds, and you would be able to get all the alphabet on there. But depending on what you have will depend on how far you get to go with writing the different letters, which is okay. All right, after you have gotten your letters written on here nice and dark, I would like for you to take your either markers or watercolor paints will work. If you use watercolor paints, little paint sets, we're going to use the colors red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. These colors. Do not use brown and do not use black. Okay? And paint that color on paint. I started with red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, and then started again, and then repeated over the red. There you go, so you can see red, orange, green, blue, purple, red, orange, green, blue, purple, and so on until you've filled every square. And what will happen is your white crayon will come through the paint where you can see each letter come through your paint. So when you're making your letters on your paper, make them nice and large so they fit in your square. They fit nicely and take up most of the square. All right. Then the next thing that you'll do, and I'm going to fold my paper over here a little bit so that you can see better. I'll work with just a few of them at a time. You want to work with one square at a time when you're doing this. We're using the colors red, or oops, that's orange. Red, yellow, orange, purple, green, and blue, and possibly your white crayon. Okay, you want to go with crayons with this section. All right, so you're going to need both crayons and your markers, or crayons and your watercolor paints. Then what we want to do is, Jasper Johns was really into discovering how paint works together, or how colors work together. So that's why he worked with familiar things. And for us, we're going to use the alphabet because that's familiar to us. All right, so then you'll take your colors, and you can start any way you want. And what I like to do is take my first color and, let's see, can I bring that in a little bit more? And what if I add, that's too out of focus. Okay. And I'm going to start with one square at a time. Okay, and then I'm going to go in and start coloring. I want to leave as much of the letter as possible so that it doesn't get lost in the coloring. You can put color on top of color. You can color around the outside, which I would like you to do, and let some of your paint show as well. Let that become a part of the colors that you use. Okay, and we want to fill each square with color around the alphabet. Okay, and you can put color on top of it. Just don't totally lose the letter. Don't totally lose it. If you start losing the letter, you can go back in and redefine it. Okay, that looks like I threw it out of focus. Let's see if I can get that back in focus for you. See what I'm doing? So then each one takes on its own look and its own picture. Okay, and I like that little spot of yellow that came through. Sometimes you just color the inside of the letter to keep the shape of it. But Jasper Johns was about experimenting with his paint and his colors, just really to understand how color works together. What colors work together, what colors don't work together. Because sometimes if you put like green on top of orange or something like that, you might get a color that you don't really care for, like a real kind of brown or black color if you're not careful. And then you can let the paint that's already there, or the marker that's already there, also come through. See what I'm doing? And I can tell that that's a B. I can tell that's an A, but really I just enjoyed putting all the color around it in the different places. Creating some texture, just create some interesting looks. Okay, so hopefully you will enjoy this, and make sure you send me a snapshot when the whole thing is done. Go as many letters as you can get on your paper. If like my paper here is big and I had extra places at the end, and so I put like circles and squares and triangles and hearts and stars to fill the rest of it. But you can, if that's the case, you can always repeat your letters. All right, you can always repeat the letters. All right, so enjoy this and have fun doing it. Make sure you send me a snapshot. All right.